Devon coming to you live from the Ghost Downtown, and we're here with Zora Neale Hurston. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, sir?
I'm doing wonderful.
That's great. It's amazing.
Of course. Alright. I have a few questions for you. Let's see. What is the significance about your work in the Harlem Renaissance?
Well, the significance behind it, in my opinion, was that the African American people could bring their true colors out and be themselves, but mostly the women's movement, because most women didn't really have not the word, but like they couldn't really say anything of their place without getting beat or looked at the wrong way because they're women.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but for the most part, it was mostly because African pride came out, and it made me happy that people were finally, for once, accepting what they really were.
Alright. Now, why were you criticizing your last time by your fellow African Americans for accepting endowments from the white people?
Well, personally, I think that the criticism they gave me was mostly based off jealousy, because they weren't what I was. Most of them weren't as educated. Most of them didn't have the money I had, and they didn't have the ability that I had to write and be myself. And since I was an outspoken person, I think they kind of took that offensively, because I spoke my mind when I think they were still based off the older times, when they wouldn't speak their mind, and because if they spoke their mind, they would get hurt by other people. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, mostly it was off jealousy, the criticism.
Alright. Now, on the topic of school, you attended Columbian University, correct?
Yes, Columbia University. Yes.
And how was that at your time?
It was fun. It was a good experience. The only challenging thing was that there wasn't as many African American students, so we got a lot of hate at times, but it was a great experience. College was an awesome experience. I think everybody should go through that experience at least once in their lifetime. Like, I attended college twice, so yeah. But it was fun. It was challenging because of all the work and all the schoolwork and work I had to do. So trying to balance everything out together was hard, but in the end, it all paid off.
Okay. Now, what made you want to write "Their Eyes Were Watching God," and how does it reflect your life?
Well, it doesn't just it reflects my life because, for example, if you take Logan, he was my first husband. I really didn't marry him for love. It was more because of the interest my family made me marry. And then, for example, Tea Cake, he was like my second marriage, and
how was that marriage?
that marriage is a little more successful. It didn't last as long as we hoped it lasted because of our differences, but throughout the whole marriage, it was an understanding marriage with Herbert, and then it was most love than anything else. And then with Joe being the first African American mayor of the first black town, reflected off my dad, as he was the first African American mayor of the first black town, because he put more attention into the town than he did into my brothers and I. So that, and in the book, Joe puts more attention into the town that he did to me. So that kind of reflects off of that. But Janie, she's mostly off the women I saw trying to make their own personality when I was going around traveling, writing books.
Okay. Now you said you had siblings. How was it growing up being an only girl with three brothers in Alabama?
It was challenging. It was good because they were always overprotective of me. They always wanted the best for me. They never wanted to hurt me.
Yeah.
The only thing that was hard for me was not having a girl to go to and talk to.
Yeah.
When you needed them the most. When a girl goes through certain things, they need to talk to another girl about it. And that really wasn't as easy with my brothers.
Alright. Now it says here in 1948, you were accused of molesting a 10-year-old child. How were you able to get around this scandalous situation?
Had to bring that up, huh?
I did.
Well, I did not molest that child. I was accused because I was seen with a child, and I think it was mostly my people that doubted me and the haters that accused me. I was found innocent in the trial, so yeah, it was hard. I got a lot of hate, people showing up at my house, threatening to do something, but when they all found out I was innocent, it was a whole different story. Some people came by and said sorry,
Yeah.
but other people just left it as it was and pretended nothing ever happened, which bothered me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Alright, you were not a popular writer for your time. Why do you think you weren't like so popular?
I wasn't as popular because what I was writing about, people still didn't really notice that. It was until like the 70s or 80s where the women's movement became a little more successful. So people saw what Janie was trying to do.
Okay.
So that's why I think my writing became a little more successful in the 70s or 80s.
Okay. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind wanting to start again?
Ah, damn. You know what? As a ghost, I always feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind. But if I can start again, I would start my life. I would start my early life a little earlier, but I would never regret anything for my later life.
Alright, now one last question before we go. It says here something about an Asian butcher.
That was funny.
How you called one of our presidents the Asian butcher?
Yes, Harry S. Truman. I call him the Asian butcher because he dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And he killed a lot of innocent people, which should not have deserved to die. Many kids were born with diseases. Still to this very day, people are still being born with diseases with all the mutations and everything going on.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was fair that he had to drop the bomb on innocent people just to prove a point.
Alright, and how old are you at this time?
Actually, just yesterday I turned 124.
Alright, I think that wraps it up here. Nice meeting you.
Thank you, sir.
Catch you later, homie.
Yeah.
Catch you on the flip side.
Catch me on the OG killer.